Everyone. I see Atul Agarwal, Vice Chairman CIRC welcomes you all. In today's session, ideas and opportunity of crypto. Friends, as you all know, this is the new subject and we all are eager to understand this subject. Lots of intricacies are there. Earlier, cryptocurrency was banned by the government of India, but with the decision of Supreme Court, which came in April 20, the ban was lifted from this cryptocurrency, but still lots of issues are going on, and the people who are doing the transactions into the cryptocurrency, they are facing lots of challenges, maybe challenges related to search and survey at the platforms. Like in the past, there was a survey and search with Wajirex. Then again, the members who were doing trading on Wajirex platform, they have also faced lots of challenges. So to understand the challenges, to understand an idea about crypto and to understand what all opportunities are there, we at CIRC try to arrange the speakers, best of the best speakers on the subject. And to cover the areas, we have three learned personalities with us today. One is Advocate Dr. C.A. Satya Kumar. He is from Chennai. He is going to discuss about crypto and opportunity, law and regulations surrounding crypto and how it will be transform lives of each one of us. Second, we are going to discuss about accounting aspects of crypto, which is going to be covered by C.A. Shahnawaz Khanji. He is from Oman. And third, we are going to discuss Web3 and metaverse of crypto, and that is being covered by a very young chartered accountant from our own country, India. She's from Raipur, CA and CS Riddhi Jain. So these three personalities are here today who are going to give us the insight about the topic. And before moving forward for these this session, I would like to introduce the speakers of the today's session. First of all, I would like to introduce Advocate M. Satya Kumar. He is an LLB, ACA and ACMA, ACS, CIMA, ACMA UK, CGMA US, and he is an associate member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. He is a commerce and law graduate with specializations in corporate and financial laws in India. He is an honorary visiting professor of JNU New Delhi. He has a world-class tax and commercial law practice. His expertise in the court's experience as counsel representing multinational corporations in multi-jurisdictional litigation. His ability to relate the business strategies of clients to the tax and regulatory environment has been recognized as unique and has played a critical role in developing solutions for clients. He has worked with several multinational and domestic clients to design and implement overall tax controversy strategies. He has represented clients during investigations under the Foreign Exchange Management Act, Income Tax Laws, Benami Transactions, TMLA, Prevention of Corruption Act, Disappropriate Asset Cases. Satya also has appeared before the Reserve Bank of India in connection with exchange control matters. Satya is having a long list of the achievements which he has achieved over a period of time. And as of now, Satya is practicing in the areas of litigation and in the areas of non-litigation as well. If we talk about non-litigation areas, few of the areas are agricultural lands, licensing, real estate and industrial properties, corporate filing and registrations, obtaining licenses, residential and commercial properties, legal methodology related issues, premeditation, counseling, and trademarks and copyrights and patents as well. So I have just given you an idea, brief idea about the profile of Advocate M. Satya Kumar. After that, I would like to introduce our another speaker, C.A. Shahnawaz Khan. Shahnawaz Khan is the CEO of Baker Tilly, Oman, and IFRS advisory partner for the region. He is a chartered accountant from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and the Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales, and holds a bachelor degree in commerce from Delhi University, India. He has nearly 20 years of professional experience specializing in financial services, energy and family business. He has worked a number of years in London financial services market and North Sea energy market. He has lead audit and advisory teams on funds, banks, insurers, and energy clients listed in the UK, US, and Bermuda. In Middle East, he has been leading diversified portfolios, having listed entities across the region, and also leads IFRS conversions. Some of his clients are LIC International, Capital Market Authority Oman, Muscat Security Market, HSBC, Citibank, Aviva, Prudential, Friends Life, Royal and Sun Alliance, Jindal Steel, Shell, Ferguson PLC, Kuwait Foreign Petroleum Exploration, Jindal Steel and Emirates. In past, he worked with Big Four audit firms in India, UAE, Kuwait, KSA, Malta, Oman, and the UK, and on secondment to the other parts of the world. Again, if we start reading the profile of CA Shahnawaz Khan, again, a very long profile. I'm trying to cut down to avoid the delay in starting the session. And I would like to read the profile of CA Riddhi Jain also. CA Riddhi is a chartered accountant and a company secretary in India with 5 years of professional experience. She's a blockchain and cryptocurrency enthusiast, having worked with developers and participated in Anthem, Solana, and other hackathons too. She loves writing about blockchain, advises about tokenomics, which while token creation and inception, tax advisory, and other avenues. Well, Riddhi, busy in building her own brand. Riddhi is a budding finance professional with a strong passion for soft skills. Being an associate chartered accountant, she is currently working as a self-employed professional under Riddhi Jain and Associates. Riddhi is again a very well-known faculty, especially if we talk about the students of chartered accountancy in Raipur. I think she is one of the favorite faculty for each one of the students, especially while we talk about motivation and especially while we talk about the professional opportunities for young members abroad. So she has taken a lot of sessions on that also. So without taking much of the time, I would like to invite Advocate M. Satya Kumar to start his deliberation. Shahnawaz bhai, I believe he has joined.
So Satya, welcome on board. If you are here, just make yourself known, please. Yeah, Satya should have joined, as I said.
Satya is here. Satya is here. Answer, I believe Satya ji has joined in attendees. Make him panelist.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
At the time, Shahnawaz bhai, I request you to kindly just give an overview. Yeah, Satya ji is here.
Yeah, Satya ji is here because
Yeah,
Satya ji was busy. If I understand right, he was busy in a budget session, and a very, very busy person. As you can see, on his back, so many law books are there. So, are you a lawyer or chartered accountant? Which one is you are more?
No, actually, I practice as CA, but until last 3 years before I was a CA, when I came to Bahrain, so when I came to Oman to address under your leadership, I was a chartered accountant. After that, I shifted to law practice. I practice on the new areas of practice like PMLA and Benami properties, income tax, Companies Act, representation act.
And you are a doctor too. So which
yeah. So it's I have completed the transfer pricing, doctorate on transfer pricing on international taxation, 6 years part-time.
Yeah. No problem. I also managed to become doctor, but I suppose please do not ask any question. My PhD, I guess, is nothing to do with it. So welcome on board, and I guess we are very much excited. Probably those who have joined us. Satya has been there, who's been speaking, I suppose, for a number of years on blockchain and I suppose the related topic, digital transformation. I've actually picked up from him. So off late, I started speaking on digital transformation. And I guess he's been a source of inspiration, or probably the material as well for me. So thank you very much for giving. And
Thank you.
as we see, Riddhi is smiling, so very beautiful and charming face. She is been, I suppose, in the probably like a blockchain and cryptocurrency for last 7 years. So I suppose I've been a little lame duck up here, so I'm just going to cover a little corners. So these two are there, as an expert. So welcome on board. Satya, I believe you can possibly start it, and then probably I'll jump in on the accounting
Yeah.
aspect a bit. And I suppose, Riddhi, you can steer the boat wherever it falls.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Shanavas. In fact, I have to first hearty congratulations to CA Shanavas Khan for becoming the CEO of Becker TD. His hard work, his connect, and his continuous work that he has done with the members and also with the industry and the government in the respective location, that is in Oman, has made him to achieve this position. It's a great pride for all of us from India, because the CEO position could have gone to European or even to an American, anybody for that matter. But it's a great pride to see our own Indian leading corporations and consultancy organizations around the world. And I'm definitely sure in the days to come, we'll reach milestones. Even with the Indian government, we're all there to support you for all your endeavors and outside India. Thank you so much, Shanavas Khan, for joining us. And thank you so much, Riddhi. And thank you so much, CA Atul Agarwal ji. That was a fantastic introduction that you gave. Today, I'm very clear that I don't want to bore the members with all the PPT, because I want them to see what I'm trying to deliberate. Because we are in the, with respect to the technology that we are talking about, crypto and blockchain and the Bitcoin, we are in a very early stage of understanding. So when we are in the early stage of understanding, putting up a PowerPoint presentation, making it a digital, more technology-oriented stuff is not that relevant, because Shanavas will be taking us through the entry and accounting part, which is very important for a chartered accountant. But from the perspective of understanding what is behind the crypto, you should understand it with just the way a layman understands. Just the way a layman understands. So before we even get into the technical details of cryptocurrency, it is very important to understand the idea of crypto. Why crypto is very, very important. Crypto is very, very important. Let me deal with this with three case studies. Let me deal with this three case studies. In fact, when the government of India came out with the national AI strategy, artificial intelligence strategy, the Niti Aayog Vice Chairman, Mr. Raju Kumar, consulted me on certain matters which are more issue-based in the governance. So I was part of that committee also in the national level. It came in 2000, the national AI strategy, artificial intelligence strategy came in 2019, somewhere in 2019. The document is available online. Maybe all the members should go to Google, type National AI Strategy of India. Second resource, what the members can actually source is about, Shanavas Khan will know about it, and as being in the Middle East, the Dubai government has set up a Ministry for Artificial Intelligence. Ministry for Artificial Intelligence, which is actually transforming wherein in the artificial intelligence, they are using blockchain technology to ensure that the intermediary goes away. So two case studies wherein you can really see how the impact of technology is going to happen from the government level is the national AI strategy of the government of India. Two is the Dubai government's national ministry, which they are trying to set up as an artificial for intelligence and blockchain technology. One more place in India where they implemented blockchain technology is the government of Andhra Pradesh, wherein Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, when he was the chief minister of the state, he implemented a real-time governance framework, and that system is also based on blockchain technology. Blockchain technology is based on crypto, and Bitcoin is one of the product of crypto to blockchain to Bitcoin. Crypto to blockchain, blockchain to Bitcoin. It can also be like this: crypto to blockchain, blockchain to land records. Crypto to blockchain, blockchain to educational certificates. Crypto to blockchain, blockchain to civil supplies of the government. Crypto to blockchain, blockchain to gold repository of Reserve Bank of India or any of the gold repositories. Crypto to blockchain to the fruits, crypto to blockchain to vegetables, crypto to blockchain to the provisions. So you have to understand that cryptocurrency and blockchain is just not for Bitcoin. It is just not for Bitcoin. This technology, what I'm talking about, is a very, very, very transformational technology which can transform people's life, which can transform people's life. Let us have a conversation. Let us have a conversation. I'm not going to show a single PPT because you will visualize. And as an accountant, when Shanawaz Khan is going to show you, the PPT will understand the entry. That's what is the scope of this session. Let me not confuse all of you. First, let me give you an example of an agriculturalist. Agriculture. First, an example of an agriculture, how a crypto, blockchain, and agriculturalist. Before we understand what is the problem that the crypto, what is the technology of crypto all about, let me talk about the problem of the agriculture, problem of the agriculturalist and the product that they produce. See, typically, I'm sure that this is CIRC, right? Central India Regional Council. And most of them will be from which location, sir?
Sir, people are from the entire country because we calculated your program
Okay, right.
all over the country. I'm sure people from South will also be there, people from West will also be there.
Yeah.
But importantly, the people from 7 states, UP, Uttarakhand, Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan.
Okay, right. So considering it, everybody would go to a supermarket, and what do? You pick up an apple. You pick up an apple. You typically see an apple. It could be an imported apple. Sometimes it could be from a local Kashmir apple or whatever apple. You go to a fruit vendor, ask him apple, and he gives one dozen of apple. You see in the apple there is a sticker stuck there. That sticker would have stuck saying that it's a Californian apple or some apple. But you see that sticker and take that, you believe that is an Californian apple or whatever apple, whichever part of the world, Norway apple or European apple, whatever. You take that by looking at that seal. But you look at the seal and you take it and you consume it. But you don't know what is the source of that apple. You don't know what is the source of that apple. Now the question is, sir, why should I know the source of the apple? Why should I know the source of the apple? The source of the apple could give you the nutritional contents of that apple. Please understand. The source of the apple could give the nutritional contents of the apple. I'll give a typical example. Groundnut in my village in Chennai, near Chennai, is not of the same nutritional quality of a groundnut from Gujarat, Mehsana region. Please understand. It could be a different nutrition altogether. The taste will be different. The nutritional contents are different. So considering it, it is very important to know the ingredient, the nutritional contents to where you should know from where you are getting or sourced, where you get the agricultural produce. Only when this information is getting attached to the agricultural produce itself will get the value. Today, what are you doing? You evaluate a tomato or you evaluate a groundnut or you evaluate an apple. Whether it is a Californian apple or Norway apple, you don't know, but it's an apple. But the same, both apples are not the same. Both apples' nutrition is not the same. By giving the information to that apple becomes more valuable. Now, how do you give that information to that apple? By click of that information, by click of that apple, you should be able to know without fearing whether that information is right or wrong. It could be possible through a crypto. It is possible through a crypto. And the technology which will enable this information over the apple is the blockchain technology. Blockchain technology. What is the technology? What is the technology all about? Let's assume there's an agriculturalist in Norway or in Europe, any part of the Europe or California, gets this apple out from a particular farm. If he enables this apple per apple through his system into a blockchain, what happens? That information gets integrated, so it cannot be tampered at all. It cannot be tampered at all. And after that, the apple is shipped and it imported to Mumbai or Chennai or to Kolkata. That apple comes there. It gives the blockchain is again enabled there. So we know when did that apple come to the port of Calcutta, so or Mumbai or Chennai. From there, it goes to the cold storage, and we know where we will also enable to know which cold storage they stored. Everywhere, if you see from the farm to the kitchen of the consumer, farm to the kitchen of the consumer, you have a information which is added to the apple. And because of that information, what happens? You know the real value of the apple, because the shelf life is not, it is not gone out and it is fresh and all those things. All this information is embedded in the blockchain technology. Now you wanted to verify all these details with a complete confidence on the information. When you are going to check this information, the information is not tampered. Even if somebody is trying to tamper that information, then the information, the tampering, activity of tampering will go to everybody in the network. Everybody in the network will know somebody is tampering that information. Who will know? The agriculturalist will know, the importer will know, the government will know, and even you will know that somebody has tampered this tampered, because it is a layer by layer, the information is stored. And if somebody is trying to alter, then entire information is informed to the entire network. Even if you want to alter, you can only form another layer of information, but you cannot erase the previous layer of information. I hope you can understand. I hope you can understand. So this is the kind of technology that is enabling, that will enable the world of information. The world of information. What is the precisely what are we trying to do? Anyway, the product will come from the farm to the kitchen. We were not worried about this information. Now, when this information is available, what will you do? See, the same shop, there is an apple for which there is only 1 day shelf life. There is, by looking at the blockchain information, there's another apple which has 5 days shelf life. What will you do? Will you buy that apple which has 1 day shelf life? You will not buy. You will buy that apple which has a 5 day shelf life, because it could stay fresh for next 5 days. So the value of this apple is not equal to the value of that apple which has only 1 day shelf life. I hope you can understand. So the pricing will come down for that apple. But as far as now, what the fruit vendors and vegetable vendors do, they mix all the apple and say it is a fresh apple which can stay for another 5 days. So I'm just giving a small down to earth example how blockchain will transform the life of the agriculturalist, so that you understand what is the relevance of blockchain to a common man. Relevance of a blockchain to a common man. By the way, when I said this, I have also spoken about relevance of blockchain to a transaction. To a transaction. Transaction only you record, no, as an accountant. So the transaction which is attached with an information is more valuable for an accountant for recording that information. 2. This is for common agriculturalist. How will it impact the government? How it will impact the government? I'll come to the industry shortly. How will it impact the government? In a government system, you see, in a governance, there are many processes are involved. Let me give an example. Exact case study in Andhra Pradesh. The same case study, the same model of presentation, I did it in Oman. All the under the leadership of CA Shanawaz Khan, all the CFOs were like enlightened about that ideas what I shared. Similar type of presentation I did, and they were able to understand the relevance of blockchain. Today I can explain the technology easily. A blockchain means there's a layer, the network, everybody can do that. If you go to YouTube, you can see what is the technology available. I need not even give you the orientation. But you should know what is the relevance of blockchain to a government. Let me give an example of Andhra Pradesh government. Of course, I am from Chennai, Tamil Nadu, but Andhra Pradesh government has been a pioneer in trying the blockchain. In Andhra Pradesh, what they did, it so happens, many times, if you go to village, the title of the land will be on one person. And patta, when I say patta, the possession of the property or the document which is showing the possession will be on the other person. I hope you can all understand what I'm trying to say. If you're a CA, you must know this issue that is happening, where there is a land, that there is a possibility the land will be in the name of, the title of the land will be in the name of one person. But the patta is nothing but passbook, that is passbook, patta or passbook of a particular land will be on the other person. Ideally, in whose name the land is there, in that name only the patta has to be there. Now, question to you, how can the government give a patta to a person who does not hold a title? It is possible in India. It is possible in India. It is possible, especially in rural India, where people are ignorant about law, where people don't even know how the law functions, how the Registration Act functions, how the Stamp Act functions, how the other laws of transfer of property functions. Its laws are so complex. Now, what is the remedy for this? The remedy for this is that a poor farmer has to walk to a court, file a suit, and you know what? The person who got the patta will be a local councillor or a particular MLA or an MP's relatives or some person who's working under MP or MLA. The politician conveniently takes the patta. Now, why did he take the patta? Because he eyes on that property. If you go and ask the farmer, you give the property, he's not going to give the property. If you create a litigation, he will come to the negotiation table so that you can buy at a cheaper price. This is the tactics what many people follow as a politician. Now, how do we counter? So today, this problem is this menace will exist from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Mumbai to Manipur. Possible. How do we ensure this problem comes to an end? The best way to avoid a corruption is not to talk about corruption. The 24/7, you see people talking about the corruption. How to bring an end to the corruption? By ensuring the technology gets introduced in the governance. Now let's assume this man goes to court and files a case. You should know as a practicing advocate, I can tell you very clearly, if you go to the court with a litigation on property and you file a suit in the civil court, tell me how many years it will take roughly. Can somebody type? You're all chartered accountants. You must know whether you're in industry. How many years? 10 years? Okay. Very less, very less. Next, I'm talking about even appeal to the Supreme Court. Okay. There is a civil case in Supreme Court which is yet to be concluded, which started in the year 1945. Yet to be concluded. Yet to be concluded. And it may be, you may think, is it possible? There is a case. So ordinarily, if you go to a court, nearly in 15 years to 20 years, you cannot do what? You cannot do transfer of the property. You cannot do conveyancing of the property. You cannot do anything. Now the point is, the person who got the patta by spending few thousands in a Tahsildar office and a collector office or a VIO office is able to get the patta, the possession in his name, the identity of the possession in his name and the title deed in someone else's name, and create trouble to a poor farmer. Now, how do we ensure this problem comes to an end? Introduce a technology. What technology I can introduce? I can introduce a technology called blockchain technology into the land records of the government. This is where I wanted the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India to closely work with the government of India. Even when the president and some of the members met me in Chennai, and when we were discussing, I told very clearly, please work with the government of India to suggest how blockchain technology can be used in different areas of the governance, through which we can get some assignments of certification and all those things. Like, for example, in Reserve Bank of India, if you do DISA and CISA, you have that information systems audit, no, which you try to get. Similar model can be used in the governance system. So now how this can be protected? Let's assume if that Kumarappa, his name is Kumarappa, that exact case study I'm saying. The Kumarappa was from that village. If in case blockchain would have got implemented, what would have happened? What would have happened? The title deed is in the name of Kumarappa. Title deed is in the name of Kumarappa. Somebody goes to the government department, bribes, and tries to say, issue the patta in this name, other than in the name of Kumarappa. Do you think it could happen in a blockchain technology? It cannot happen in blockchain technology. Why it cannot happen in a blockchain technology? Because the layers of information are kept, and it will be known to the entire network of people who are there in the blockchain technology. Why? Because of the technology called crypto. Because of the technology called crypto. What is the concept of crypto? Concept of crypto technology. So the every data is encrypted with a string that denotes the identity, that denotes an identity, wherein this information is shared peer-to-peer. Accordingly, it will be notified to everybody in the network. Today, the patta is offered by somebody in the lower level of the governance, but this problem goes to the higher level of governance later, because there is a discretionary power vested with the person who is issuing that patta. Now this discretionary power is exercised without the knowledge of the higher authority. Let's assume if the blockchain comes, and if that information is there in the blockchain, once that information is tampered and it is indicated to the higher authority, immediately the higher authority should take action against it. Yes. So considering it, the blockchain ensures even the land records are kept in proper safety. So by introducing a blockchain, especially in the land records of the government, we can ensure that the duplicate pattas and all the issues with respect to land can be reduced. And you know something, there are crores of cases pending in India, and most of the cases will be limited into civil, especially land related. And do you think this will all come to an end? It is very difficult. And considering it, to ensure the blockchain, to ensure that the information is not tampered, to ensure that the land records are not are kept in intact, the first level, the government of India is trying to see what is the feasibility of blockchain technology within the government system. The third important point, how is it going to impact the accountants, which is the detailed discussion what Shahnawaz Khan is going to do. I give an example of a common man with an example of an apple. Two, I've given an example of Kumarappa, where he owned the land and somebody got the patta and made his life a hell. What would have happened if blockchain would have been there? How the information would have got notified to the peer-to-peer network? I explained that. Finally, accountants. When I made this presentation in Oman, many people were surprised to know. I said, you all read about double entry system. From when? From the time of 11th standard, when your teacher taught you golden rules of accounting. Hereafter, the rules of accounting is going to change. The golden rules of accounting is where for the double entry system of accounting. It is for the double entry system of accounting. But after blockchain coming in, the golden rules of accounting will undergo a slight change. Because after the double entry, there's going to be another entry, the third entry in blockchain technology. Anybody trying to alter that entry, they cannot alter that entry, but they can only pass another entry to say that they are replacing that entry. So replacement is only possible, that Shahnawaz will be explaining from the technical point of view. Now, my dear friends, all the three examples I told you, one thing is very important to be understood. All this can be implemented in India only when there is a law. As of now, there is no law for blockchain in India. The reason, in fact, Mr. Atul Agarwal ji, when he was actually mentioning about why government has banned, first of all, let me tell you, government is very clear that they want to come out with a regulation first. Then only they wanted to make the cryptocurrency a legal tender, or even cryptocurrency to work within the industry. Because unauthorized operation, the government don't want to encourage unauthorized operations within India. It could disrupt businesses, it could disrupt investments, it could even disturb the stock exchange. Please understand. Because suddenly if the cryptocurrency gets boomed and it is not regulated by the SEBI or Reserve Bank of India or the Government of India, Ministry of Finance or banking sector, and suddenly people start shifting, that too because of the digital transformation, then what will happen? Entire country will come to a standstill with respect to the monetary policy issues. Entire country will start facing monetary policy issues, and it will also lead to eventually to the fiscal policy issues. And it could also a case where things will get unaccounted. Things will get into the unaccounted model. So considering this only, Government of India wants to ensure that everything comes first, the regulation is brought in, the system is placed, and then slowly they wanted to introduce blockchain sector by sector before they introduce blockchain for cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. Please understand. This is the reason the Government of India is not coming out with a big bang support to the cryptocurrency. Now, to put it across, what is the definition of blockchain? Let me give you technical details of definition of blockchain. From the definition provided by the founder of the blockchain technology, the blockchain is a distributed database. Exact definition I quote. Blockchain is a distributed database that is shared among the nodes of computer network. Typically visualize of the situation of a land record. The land record is distributed to different network, from the registration office to the approving office to the secretariat of government, revenue department. It is being sent. It is a distributed database. As a database, a blockchain stores information electronically in digital format. Then blockchains are best known for crucial role in cryptocurrency systems such as Bitcoin for maintaining secure and decentralized record of information. The innovation with the blockchain is that it guarantees the fidelity and security of record of data and generates trust without the need for a trusted third party. So what is happening? Now, why is audit needed in a company? The audit is needed in the company because we don't know whether the transaction is bogus, whether the transaction is recorded as per the accounting standard, whether the transaction is a legal transaction. So this is verified. This is audited by a chartered accountant and issues an opinion of true and fact. Think over a period of time, if blockchain becomes more efficient. In fact, there is no requirement for an audit. Take, for example, if the vendors come into the blockchain, customers come into the blockchain, government comes into the blockchain. Why intermediary is verified needed? Because we don't know that information which is stored in the company or in the government or any of the stakeholders is right or wrong. So we needed a third party like chartered accountant to come and audit. But in robotic solution, new audit models, new 21st century industry 6.0 technology that is going to emerge, super intelligence technologies, when this is going to come, obviously it is just an exception report that would be required from the system. For example, even SAP, many of the multinational organizations, what they do, they have an integrated software, integrated accounting model. Even vendors and customers, everybody come into the system. And the C&F agent, for example, there is a dealer. What do? You integrate the dealer also into your company, yes or no, through the software, even the billing software, to have a control on that. Look at, for example, many salon networks, branded salons like Naturals, Page 3. What do they do? They have a billing software. What do? The billing software is provided by the person who is giving the franchise, and what they do, they bill, and the billing control is maintained centrally by the franchisee, the owner of the brand. So considering it, applying this typical scenario in case of blockchain over a period of time, wherever there is a third party required to verify the trust of another person, there is no requirement to verify through a trusted third party, because it generates, the blockchain itself is a trust-oriented network. Accordingly, wherever there is a transaction, wherever there is an intermediary, everywhere blockchain intervention is going to play a major role. I hope you understood. So this is the and it is not only that, it is a structured network, and Bitcoin is a decent. Bitcoin is one of the products of blockchain, and it's not the only thing. Bitcoin is famous, but blockchain can be used for many other technology-oriented systems, where we build technology-oriented systems. For example, let me give one classic example to you. This, you are traveling to Delhi, for example. Somebody is traveling from Chennai to Delhi. What do? You take a taxi and you go to the airport. When you enter the airport, now you are showing first, even though the COVID certificate of vaccination is there in the internet, it is issued by the Government of India. what do? They ask you for a printout. They ask you for a printout. Bloody, we show this printout. Where? Before, when we enter the airport. Do you think that the printout in the photo, what is there in the printout is be like us? You see your driving license. You yourself cannot identify you. That is the photograph we have in a driving license. Your own Aadhaar, most of the time when people ask for Aadhaar, I am reluctant to give. Because look, I am looking smart here. Okay, the way we are looking is completely different from the way we will be looking in Aadhaar. Identity is a problem. Do you think every day when the Aadhaar is produced in this nation, identity is verified? You go and check. Half of the time, identity is wrong only. I typically remember in Tamil Nadu, somebody got a ration card with a photo of a monkey. Typically, it happened near my home. It is a ration card, smart card issued by the government of Tamil Nadu, where one of the person who got the ration card through which they have to go and purchase the civil supplies from the government of Tamil Nadu, he got that photograph like a monkey. What's happening? So, do you want this kind of information to be generated by the government, wherein we need to trust? Today, government record only. Somebody, when I used to debate in national channels, somebody said the government of India has released a data. Now, just because the government of India released the data only, I have a doubt. If it is released by even a third party, I'm okay. But the data, what they release, we don't even know whether the data is right or wrong. So considering we need a validation for everything we get in our hand. I'm telling you, in future, your own kids, your own next generations, whatever they will receive in hand, they'll keep verifying. It is going to happen in another 15 to 20 years. You utter some word, they'll record it nicely, and they'll go and check that fact in the Google, in the Google enabled through blockchain. Immediately they're going to say you are lying, daddy. Let's assume you come home late, and somebody goes for a bar and comes to home and then says, I was so held up in the work. Already your Google knows where you are. Now you say your children that you are busy in the work. Then that if you are connected, a family is connected in the blockchain, your child will immediately post and ask, where was dad, whether this data is right. It will say which bar, which chair you are sitting. That is a kind of authentication that's going to come. It is going to be impossible for each and everybody to lie or even say wrong information in the future, because information is the wealth, and that information is going to be mapped in the trust network over a period of time. We are going to see a complete change happening in the information framework of the world, accounting data, auditing data, whatever you're going to do in the profession, tax data. What was happening in India? You look at before 7 years, 8 years, there's one turnover in VAT, another turnover in service tax, another turnover in income tax, another turnover for FEMA records, another turnover for some other authority, another turnover for bank. Today, what is happening? In income tax, you have AIS record, AIS, you all know now in the new system. Everything is coming. Which bank is there, which branch, now only client itself is knowing which branch they have account, and then 2,500 rupees they had somewhere between 7 years or 8 years before, still there. Now only is coming to know, okay, there is an amount in my particular bank. That is a kind of information integration that's happening. IEC getting integrated in import-export code. Today, there is a validity up to February 1st. You go and update the import-export code. You have to update with PAN record. After you update the PAN record, the information is shared with income tax. Can you imagine? You import and then it is integrated with the GST also, IGST. Because compulsorily, if you are importer, you need to get the IGST, GST. Everything is brought in. Now the question is, this data, is it a valid data, trusted data? There is a next development that's going to happen through a blockchain technology. So everybody here are kind of understanding what could be the impact. What could be the impact? Every data is shared today. Every data, bank data to income tax to bank, registration department of respective state to the income tax. How many of them know that the registration department has to share any property where you buy more than 30 lakhs? They have to share this information to the income tax department, to the if it is called for by the income tax. Why should they share? There should be a system where every information is integrated, which is trusted and validated. This is going to be the future of the technology. The profession is going to change drastically, not in a linear model, but in an exponential model. Exponential model. The gone are the days where we were filing income tax by filling up a form. Today, income tax return, a client is teaching us how to do it in most of the cases. So considering it, we need to look at how the technology is evolving, how practices will over a period of time transform, what could be our role of our profession. We have to reinvent ourselves. We have to reinvent ourselves to be relevant. We have to reinvent ourselves to be relevant. In fact, somebody was asking, what is the success of the actor Rajinikanth, superstar Rajinikanth? And you know, he's from our state and has been a very, very successful actor, not just for 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, 46 years. Why? What made him to be successful? Every time he reinvented himself. Every time he reinvented. When a movie is getting released, we don't know what new style is going to emerge. Profession of CA is going to become over a period of time like that. Every year, technology will change, portals will change, new additions will happen, new issues will come on desk, where we have to break our head, and there is not going to be a fixed process. Every time there is going to be a change. Every time. There's not going to be a process oriented. So blockchain technology will impact our profession. Impact our profession. Maybe when CIRC is going to call me and Shanawaz and Khan and Riddhi, maybe in future for a face-to-face session, we will show you each area of impact of the profession, how it's going to happen. Let this COVID wave come down, and these technology can be demonstrated to the members. That's the reason whenever they say there's a program on blockchain, I myself sometimes don't attend, because people who come to speak, they make it like a software. Please understand, blockchain is not a software. It is a trust-oriented network. You need to understand where to apply the blockchain. As a chartered accountant, you're not expected to know the technology. What are you going to do by knowing the technology? You need to know how it is going to impact your area of practice. I gave you all 3 to 4 examples today. And laws are evolving. Laws are evolving for a blockchain. Laws are going to evolve in the blockchain. The Information Technology Act has to respond to the blockchain technology. And we should do it as quick as possible. Experts from different countries has to be brought in from different levels, and the government of India has to work really hard to build the system of blockchain technology. The Reserve Bank of India may say that blockchain technology is not being allowed in India. The Ministry of Finance will say, but you know, both Ministry of Finance as well as Reserve Bank of India are researching how to implement blockchain within the RBI and Ministry of Finance and the government setup. So you must understand, what they're banning is an unregulated market. They're not banning the entire cryptocurrency and blockchain. They're not banning. They are saying, let this first be regulated, and then later we see how this impact would be. Let's not adopt and mess up in the nation, because it's a currency matter. It's a currency matter. It is about Mahatma Gandhiji, wherein we believe even today currency means currency with photograph of Gandhiji with the respective denomination, and not Bitcoin. Please understand. So that currency, they don't want to come inside and disturb the existing monetary policy of the government of India and the fiscal policy of the government of India in turn. So that is the reason, and that is the reason laws will evolve over a period of time. In the budget, Union Budget 2022, you can expect some announcement on what are the plans of the government with respect to cryptocurrency. Because India cannot stay away from the crypto revolution. India cannot stay away from the blockchain revolution. India cannot stay away from the impact of the blockchain, because the entire system is going to be transformed. And by the way, India is only banning Bitcoin. India is only trying to say, hold on the cryptocurrency. India is not saying don't use blockchain. Indian government is not saying don't use blockchain. There are 3 aspects to it. One is the cryptocurrency, next is the Bitcoin, and third is your blockchain technology. Indian government is not saying, nowhere you can go and check. Indian currency, blockchain is not banned in India. Blockchain technology is encouraged directly or indirectly by the government and by the industry and by the academia. But what the government is a bit not comfortable, or rather they are completely banning, is with respect to Bitcoins and cryptocurrency, because illegal activities could happen. And many people already started with net fungible NFTs. They've already started with NFT for many of the actors like Amitabh Bachchan. The stars started selling their own products in the NFT model, NFT crypto, non-fungible tokens. It's going to happen. Any creative thing in the future, creative thing in the future is going to be in the non-fungible tokens. Non-fungible tokens. Even copyrights will be on the non-fungible tokens. The trademarks will be in the non-fungible tokens. Over a period of time, let's assume Satya Kumar, over a period of time, for example, over a period of time from my birth until my lifetime, maybe at the age of 90, I would become an icon in the nation. Let's assume all my history, or even my whatever I've written in the paper, will have a value, because people will look upon to buy the products what Satya Kumar has used. Today, for example, whenever I go to Ramakrishna Math and look at Swami Vivekananda, I always feel, is there any product wherein he has used and that is available for us to take the possession of? I used to ask, is there any product wherein Swamiji has touched so that I buy that? Today, for that, you need to negotiate. But in future, possibly, those things will be available over NFT. NFT. People can put up the products in NFT. Superstars, the politicians. It could be put in NFT and it can be traded over the NFT. Even the digital, many of the things. Even nowadays, the small scenes of a respective film is placed as an NFT. 3 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. You can go and buy for about $15, $12, $8 over the internet. So NFTs are becoming a buzzword. Even I feel this present budget will ban NFTs directly or indirectly in India. So because it is also getting not regulated, and most of the time these are all listed in different websites, and how these things will evolve, we don't know. How government is going to respond. The government itself is in the research phase. Next 5 years or 6 years is going to be an exciting journey for young and also for the experienced professionals to work together on this area. And I wish the CIRC under the leadership of CA Atul Agarwalji to conduct many more programs of this kind. And I'm always available to serve for the members or to the students to give them update about how the new things are happening. Very, very important. Last week, one of the clients came who was in NFT. He thought a lawyer, typical CA, he knows I'm a CA, I'm a triple qualified member. Then I know I practice as advocate. And he came, he thought, he had a lens that I may not understand NFT. He was talking about valuation. I said, you do know how to value an NFT? Valuation aspect of NFT. I gave a lecture to him about 1 hour and said, what are the possible litigation which can come out in the NFT? And then he said, sir, please, sir, come and give a lecture to even advocates. How valuations could be a potential area of litigation. NFT has come. Now itself, lawyers are thinking, what could be the potential impact of litigation? Can you imagine? Before even the product is getting launched, people are talking about litigation. Can you imagine? That is the kind of professional urge we must have to see how the things will be relevant to us. So you will see in another few months down the line, people will be writing books on valuation of NFTs for sure. Very, very interesting areas to come. Very happy to interact with all of you. And I'm very happy that I'm associated with the Institute as a speaker since my student days. Part of the Sikasa, and then over a period, I've been to across the countries. And thanks, that's how I got good friends like Shanawaz Khan. And thank you so much, Atul Agarwalji. And thank you so much, Riddhi Jain and Shanawaz Khan sir, for coming here. And he's going to inspire all of you with the accounting aspects through the background that I gave. So the catch point from my session, blockchain is a technology. It is not a currency. Blockchain is ensures that intermediary will go away. Then third important point, cryptocurrency. As a crypto to blockchain, blockchain to the any product you can apply. Any product you can apply. So, so that is how we started the discussion. And Indian government, I told how Indian government is going to respond and how it is relevant to the accountants, how things are going to transform over a period of time. This is the takeaway from my session, and all the very best to the professionals. And definitely our support is there. And anybody who wants to have a message about any of the details about crypto, we have some research done in our office. You can message me in my WhatsApp number, and my office will take care in posting you the link and things like that. My number is 98844 9226. 98844 9226. There is a speech given by me, which was it is also available when Shanavas Khan, CX Shanavas Khan was a chairman. That speech is available as a video over internet. You can watch that video. It's 1.5 hours. Blockchain technology with a presentation. With a presentation that with an audience, it's a clear presentation that we have. You can see that presentation and then enjoy and get updated about what is exactly about the blockchain. Thank you so much. If there are any queries, I'm ready to take up the questions.
Sir, can you touch a little bit about NFT also? Because
NFT. See, this NFT is a very simple concept. I'll explain with Superstar only, because I'm very close to him and people know and how much fan I am. So accordingly, I'll explain a word with my own icon of cinema industry, Superstar Rajinikanth sir. I've been a great fan since my childhood, and over a period of time, I became a very close friend of him. And even when I used to write my CA exams, I used to hear his songs and then go and write. That's how I cleared my CA exam. The secret is that Lord Balaji gave me the entire support, and I followed his songs, and that's how I used to write that inspirational things. But anyway, let's assume his writing, his creatives, his signature, his photographs, his childhood photographs, his car. He has one Fiat car, which is a very, very old car. He has a new BMW car, for example. He has a small old cycle, for example, at his residence. These are all used by him. Now the question is, what is the value of all these things? He can go on auction and try to attract a client, which he will never do. But small bit of it, he can try to give it to the NFT. And what is NFT all about? We will do a separate session about NFT, accounting aspect, auditing aspect, and also the valuation aspect and taxation aspect in the future. As of now, you understand NFT and legal aspects of NFT. Legal aspects of a 360-degree view of the NFT. We will do that at some time. But now, as of now, you understand. NFT non-fungible token is data added to a file that creates a unique signature. It creates a unique signature. It can be an image file, a song, a tweet, a text posted on a website, a physical item, and various other digital formats. Now, for example, Atul Agarwal ji is seeing. So Atul Agarwal ji is imagining and visualizing Mr. Satya Kumar is going to become something great in future. When I'm speaking about Atul Agarwal ji, he cuts the 2 seconds and then he stores. This is a signature style. Like this I'm speaking. This is a signature style of my presentation. He understood. So he cuts and keeps it safely, which I don't know for many years. And later, Atul Agarwal ji calls me up and says, Satya ji, you remember, you came and addressed over a Zoom that time. And I have the clip with me. Today, you have grown big. You have a brand for yourself. Now, this, if you put up an NFT, people will be crazy to buy. Let's assume. Now, that information which he did not have value. Now, because of my hard work which I have done over a period of time and the support of all of them, let's assume, we come up and Atul Agarwal ji is using that information in NFT and he trades that in NFT and he gets the value out of it. I hope you can understand.
Yes.
So this is a non-fungible token. And by the way, if Atul Agarwal ji is releasing that you should not be worried. Somebody will copy that because there's going to be unique signature attached to it. The original owner, Atul Agarwalji is the original owner. Today, you take a photograph of this and put it in the Facebook. Tomorrow, Atul Agarwalji may not be able to claim this, but Atul Agarwalji had this, and he attaches a signature to it and he uploads. If next person is trying to do that process, that will be rejected. That's a beautiful way of coming into the NFT. And accordingly, you can try to use that NFT. And it basically means that someone can own a digital file, and that's marked with a code to differentiate it from the digital duplicates, replicas. Even today, you have many of the images available on the internet, but some of the original images you can buy. There's one repository of images. I forgot that platform. You can go and buy. What is that, Riddhi?
OpenSea.
OpenSea, and one more thing also. I forgot.
OpenSea, RAR, and then
MetaMask.
OpenSea, Rarible, Nifty Gateway. MetaMask is a wallet. NFT tokens marketplace examples are OpenSea, Rarible, Nifty Gateways. These places from where you can buy NFTs and sell NFTs after you mint it.
Correct. Shutterstock. Correct. Shika was right. Shutterstock. I'm going for a simple example before even I get into the NFT stuff. See what happens. You go and see a image. For example, you wanted to download the image of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. The entire nation is celebrating about Netaji. And you see Netaji in that, you see always Netaji is always in that cap and all those things. But there are good images of Netaji, very unique images of Netaji. You can see he is in shawl, he's standing, but you don't get that clear image. If you go to Shutterstock and put Netaji, you will try to get original image, which is trying to store. Now, this is original images. If it comes to NFT, then it can be traded with different platforms, and that's how it has a unique signature. Take it from me, over a period of time, even Shutterstock will transform itself to an NFT. You can see Shutterstock will make a mark in the NFT. They will try to make a mark in NFT. YouTube will come out with an NFT. YouTube will come out with an NFT. Facebook will come out with an NFT. So digital records are going to have huge value. Huge value. Digital records are going to have a huge value. That's the way the land is a real estate. Digital records will also become a real estate over a period of time. So considering it, it's going to have a different dimension of thinking. We will do a separate session, in-depth session. Today, you understand how NFT and blockchain is integrated. NFT transaction must be verified to blockchain to guarantee that encryption is valid, which consumes enormous amounts of energy. So whenever you buy, the blockchains are going to be there. The source you will know. Atul Agarwalji only took this in 29/1/2022, and now it is 2032. 10 years before he has taken, all those records will be visible. So this NFT is going to be traded, and appreciation of NFT also will happen because you're going to quote a basic price through which it's going to be traded. So this is the thing about NFT also, Atul Agarwalji. And whether to invest in crypto or not, any market advice I don't want to give. It is up to you. If you feel that there is a potential of investment, you do it. Otherwise, don't even keep it in fixed deposit, because fixed deposit you get only 4% after 2016. So what do you do with money? Keep it idle so that it doesn't. Ideally, for 4% you can keep it idle. 4% you can keep it idle, or have good lunch and sleep. That's all you should do today with respect to money. Cryptocurrency I cannot suggest, but I cannot give any ideas on market. I would request all the chartered accountants to restrain yourself to say whether to invest in cryptocurrency or not, because this is going on record and you advise something and tomorrow that person takes a decision. You should not be responsible for the market failure. So that is the reason, and my suggestion as a person who wants to invest, use your own wisdom to understand this. We have given knowledge to you. It is up to you to understand, to put investment or not. So you take the decisions. Whoever is asking the question in the webinar. Thank you.
Sir, we rider investments are subject to market risk. So
Yeah, correct.
Whatever Satya Kumar ji is saying, really,
investment returns are subject to government regulations.
Government regulations. Yeah.
With respect to crypto. So considering it, then
here in crypto market, whenever we advise somebody, we say not a financial advice. Even if we buy, you never know if it is going from $100 to $0. So
correct.
financial advice at all.
So it was really a very wonderful deliberation, sir. I believe we will take the question answers at the end of the session. Before that, let's have a deliberation from CA Shanwaj Khanji regarding the finance and accounting part of the cryptocurrency, and then after that we'll come on with D, who is going to tell us about metaverse of this version, metaverse of this crypto. So over to CA Shanwaj Khanji for his presentation.
Thank you very much. I believe my screen is visible. I've shared the screen, so people can see. Yep, Riddhi, can you see? All right, good. Thank you very much, Satya. I believe your session was up to the mark, and you probably covered it as much as I suppose I thought so. And you know, those who are watching, was looking for an advice, I suppose, to buy, but they forgot that Satya has already given you his number indirectly. So the message, I suppose, is loud and clear. Probably after the session, you can call him for the advice. So this is I'm only going to run some of the accounting aspect. Satya has talked about it, the blockchain, a bit about. I guess if they can make themselves mute, please. There is an echo here. So I'm just only going to talk about the accounting aspect. I'm not an expert on blockchain, neither I suppose on the cryptocurrencies as well. But as a financial expert, somebody who's been speaking a lot, I guess, on IFRS, I thought, why don't I take a challenge and then give a thought process behind it? Because this is a very upcoming area. There has been no clarity whatsoever. Even the IASB and the accounting board and interpretation committees, all are looking the corners. But there are one staff paper, I suppose, somewhere in 2019, and I'm just driving some of the conclusions from there as well. So let's walk through with this journey, and then journey, I suppose, should not take you 20 minutes, and I'm more than happy, I suppose, to take any questions afterward. But as I mentioned earlier, I suppose all the technicalities, perhaps, those two people up there, you can ask and throw as many as questions. Riddhi is smiling. So she will be the one, I suppose, who will take the technology questions as well. So you see, we are in the age of Bitcoin, and, beautiful Bitcoin is around, and this has been getting popular since, I believe, 2008 and 9. Bitcoin has been doubled and tripled, and, so many things have been in circulations as well. So the agenda has been very, very simple. We just discussed briefly about what is cryptocurrency and the accounting challenges. There are a number of accounting challenges, and in particular, which IFRS may possibly apply. And when it is applying, what are the challenges, and just a recap as well. So first and foremost, what is a cryptocurrency? So a form of payment that can circulate without the need of a central monetary agency. So bear in mind that this is one of the most important distinction, compared to the notes or compared to any currency which you like to compare with. So there is no central monetary authority. So they are there on their own. Cryptocurrency use cryptographic techniques. So there's a bit of encryptions, a blockchain and block that enable people to buy, sell, or trade them as securely. And why do they so? To control the creation of a digital currency unit and to verify the transfer of assets. So cryptocurrency has been using a digitalized, or rather, I suppose, a decentralized control through a blockchain, which is a public transaction database functioning as a distributed ledger. So Satya was mentioning something about this presentation probably a year and a half ago. That presentation is there on the YouTube, and a world-class presentation. Those who have a doubt about the blockchain, he has explained in length as well. The idea I'm driving in, I just want to give up bits about the cryptocurrency before I just built up the session on the accounting perspective as well. So 1,600 digital currencies in existence. Popular ones are Bitcoin and Ethereum. These are the ones which has been the most popular. And 2009, ever since I suppose Bitcoin is there, the largest market capitalization Bitcoin has been having. And that brought to us through a concept. Actually, we've been talking about the cryptocurrency, but how about the crypto assets? So what are the crypto assets? These are digital assets class that include assets recorded on a blockchain. A crypto asset could intended be for a use as medium of exchange. So these are very, very heavy words: central monetary authority, medium of exchange. For example, a paper currency. What is it? This is a medium of exchange. So cryptocurrency has been using as a medium of exchange, or maybe an assets that provide the holder with particular right. So so there are crypto tokens and utility tokens. There are various forms of tokens available. They are based on crypto, the cryptographic techniques as well. So here the idea is to cover from the perspective of the holder of the cryptocurrencies. But let's say if the time permits, I would probably touch base on crypto tokens as well. So this is the picture I would expect everybody to take home. And if you remember the content of this slide, I suppose my purpose is going to be served, because these are the most possible combinations of accounting the cryptocurrency. And first and first, the standards. So the standards are there on your left-hand side, statement of cash flows, or IAS 39, IAS 40, IAS 38, IAS 2. So where possibly the cryptocurrency could fall. And if they may fall, what would they classify? Whether they will be classified as unit of account, as cash and cash equivalents, FVPTL, investment property or PPE, intangible assets, and inventories. And the column on my left, right, the IFRS 8, that talks about the accounting policies. So should there be no accounting standard, IAS 8 actually. So should there be no accounting standard, then you can frame your own accounting policy. So where they fits in comparison, we'll see alongside. First and first more, IAS 7 is statement of cash flows. So can the cryptocurrency, if I'm holding it, can they be classified as cash and cash equivalent? What are the essential integrants to be classified in cash and cash equivalents? It has to be backed up by the government or central bank. It has to be legal tender in virtually all jurisdictions. So the word to bear in mind is the virtual, something which is their physical form. Readily be exchanged for any goods and services. You can go to a kirana shop, you can go to a supermarket, you can buy things easily. Short-term and highly liquid investments, something which can be sold, so which you classified as a cash and cash equivalents, something which can be really readily sellable in the market as well. And price volatility. So if we counted 1, 2, 3, 4, probably on the fourth count, the cryptocurrencies do not hold any ground. Price volatility has been there, which should not be there when you consider anything cash and cash equivalents. So that posed the question, can crypto be accounting as a cash and equivalents? So you can put your answers in the comments box as well. But the answer is no. Because out of the 5 criteria I posed, 4 criteria, cryptocurrencies do not hold their grounds. That takes us to the next category, which is the IAS 39. Whether cryptocurrencies can be classified as a financial instrument. How so? Financial assets are cash, equity instrument, a contractual right, contract that will give or may settle in entity's own equity as well. So let's run through. Cash we have already ruled out, an equity instrument of another entity, and crypto do not have a residual interest in the entity, so that's also do not hold. Contractual right, unfortunately there is no contractual right, because it's been driven through the cryptocurrency mechanism, which is a concept of the blockchain. Though there are means to control things, but this does not have a contractual commitment amongst the parties. Contract that will or maybe settle in entity's own equity as well, which I have already ruled out because of the lack of residual interest. So can it be classified as a financial asset or financial instrument within the preview of IAS 39? The answer, no. So it does not have any hold any ground for being a financial asset. So what else is left for us now? So the other possible standard where could possibly, we may find an answer. Could it be considered as an investment property? So the basic integrants for the investment properties are property held to earn rentals or for capital appreciation. So probably that could be a debatable. Yes, cryptos can be held for capital appreciation, which is over the course of the time people have been doing it since 2009. It's been double and triple, and it's been raised again and again. But physical. For investment property, the biggest integrants to be classified in investment property, it has to be physical. So cryptocurrency, it's virtual, and it does not have any essence on its own. So unfortunately, it will not fall into IAS 40 as well. And that was the question is, can crypto be an accounting as IP and on the similar thought process as the PPE within the preview of IAS 16? And one of the integrants up there is physical. So that lacks, physical presence. Hence, it may not fall into the IS 40 as well. So we've been ruling it out, so many standards, but that's the standard, I suppose, of the most important. And that's from the interpretation committee of the IASB also come up, with more or less the same conclusion. So intangible. So intangible, identifiable, trade or an exchange of peer-to-peer, non-monetary assets. Crypto value is not fixed or determinable, but subject to major variance, and physical digital money and no physical substance. So these are, some of the criteria of apologies, I put it investment property. So these are some of the criteria of intangibles. So intangible has to be identifiable. So cryptocurrencies can be identified. Non-monetary, yes, they are non-monetary, and physical. So intangible should not have any physical presence, and so do are the cryptocurrencies as well. So this is one of the possible area where the cryptocurrencies would fall. And if I read the definition of IAS 38, in terms of intangible, so is separable. So yes, currencies are separable, arise from a contractual or other legal rights, regardless of whether those rights are transferable or separable from the entity or from other rights and obligation. So this is a bit of subjective area actually, because we're talking about a contractual legal, regardless of whether those rights are transferable or separable. Because in terms of IFRS 9 as well, we were debating, there was lack of contract, so it may not fall there as well. But this has become as a sort of a default category if you are holding the cryptocurrencies. And this is also a gray area. This is emerging. I would expect a guidance note or a standard on its own, would come. But other than that, the word has been classifying them as within the preview of IAS 38 as intangible assets. But there is a trick. So they can be accounted as intangible assets, and this is very much, I suppose, been happening around the world. The only and the other challenge is, should you classify them as intangible, cost and revaluation. So cost can be, you can identify the cost as and when you buy it. But should you follow the revaluation method, which is within the preview of IAS 38, then the fair value mechanism becomes very, very difficult. As long as these cryptocurrencies been traded on various platforms around the world, you can drive the value, then it's fine. Otherwise, fair value itself is a big challenge, because the fair value determination would fall in IFRS 3, which lays down level 1, level 2, and level 3. And level 1 are something which can readily be available in the market. So some of the cryptocurrencies are there, for example, likes of Bitcoin, but some of them are not there as well. So valuation becomes very, very tricky when you follow the IAS 30, should you follow the revaluation method. Amortization and impairment, that's an important area, because cryptocurrencies may not have a finite life. So what does it mean? They are indefinite life. In case of indefinite life of IAS 38, intangible assets, they are prone for impairment, and within the preview of IAS 36, we have to pass an impairment test every year. So cryptocurrencies, as they've been designed to act as a store of value over time, and that's where also the challenge comes into picture. Should you follow the revaluation reserve accounting approach, because the impairment should hit the revaluation reserves as well. So these are some of the most complications. So even IAS 38 brings a lot more challenges, but so far that's been only the winning category among all the standards we have discussed. Now that poses us to a question that how about the trader of a crypto? If somebody is been trading in crypto, buying and selling, should they classify it as IAS 38? Because IAS 38, we discussed and we talked about that somebody who is holding the cryptocurrencies, they may fall into IAS 38, but the trader has no intention to hold the cryptocurrency for long. They like to, buy and sell. In that case, there is another standard which may possibly govern it, is the IAS 2 inventories. So inventories, the methods prescribed in the standard as a summary is cost or NRV. So either needs to be kept at cost or NRV, whichever is less. But there is a scope exemption in case of commodity brokers, and that's also again a bit of subjective, but this has been debated even by the interpretation committee of IASB, and this has been becoming a sort of a method adopted by somebody who holds the cryptocurrency in the form of a trader. They can follow the concept as applied on the commodity brokers, which would mean is inventories has to be fair value less cost to sell compared to the other inventories like cost or NRV. And the challenge lies physical, and because this is a general presumption, the inventories needs to be physical, and that's why I said like it's also been a subjective, but that's the possible area where the inventories would fall. If you are able to read, the IS 38 has a scope exemption. So IS 38 says that intangible assets held by an entity for sale in the ordinary course of business are outside the scope of the standard and should be accounted for under IS2. And that's the reason why whosoever has been trading, they may follow the IS2 as well. So this is where we are. We discussed they can be inventory. Yes. So we have started the session on this. So IS7, that's ruled out. IS 39 ruled out. 40 and 16 ruled out. 38, this is yes, and that's the default category. We have seen the criteria as well. IS2 inventories, yes, and with a specific as it is as a trader. But there are hell number of disclosures required within the preview of IS10, IS2, IS1, IFRS 13, IS 38, and should there be an impairment within the preview of IS 36 as well. So that's the brief, I like to cover it. But there are, for example, cryptocurrency tokens as well, and number of other, similar assets being coming up. Again, there's been no written or possible industry guidance up there as well. But some of things, for example, I can think of if the cryptocurrencies or probably a token are being offered to employees in the form of, I suppose, as a sort of a remuneration, then they may not fall into the IFRS 2, a share-based payment, because equity, the concept of equity has been lacking in the cryptocurrencies, because equity means residual interest. So they may have to be accounted accordingly within the preview of a new accounting policies. That's what we very much discussed as well. All the other tokens in the form of derivatives, and their valuation would drive, if they are a sort of derivative, their valuation would drive from the underlying assets as well. And if they may not fall into IS 38 as we have discussed, or perhaps in the IS2, then you have to come up with your own accounting policies and you follow the conceptual framework as per the IASB, where there's a definition of the asset, where there is a definition of the liability, but that requires a hell amount of disclosures as well. So this is where we are, a very brief sort of setup. And when I'm talking about, the IS 8 accounting policies, what does it mean? In the absence of a standard or interpretation that specifically applies to a transaction, other event or conditions, management must use its judgment in developing and applying an accounting policy that results in information that is relevant and reliable. So that's also one of the gray areas as well. And with the lack of information and no clarity from the ISB other than this explanatory note by the interpretation committee, we've been just following, a sort of a trial and error approach. So this is where we are. So that's my detail, and you can see possibly my email ID and LinkedIn as well. Should you may have any question, I'm more than happy to answer it. Thank you very much for having me. Better things are coming. So as Satya has highlighted, I would also highlight it that better things are coming. Supreme Court ruling should be favored, and we are expecting the government of India to come up, and the rest of the world is also joining. For example, in European Union, rules are there to govern the cryptocurrencies. Probably in the US also, there are, rules is there. Australia, Korea, some countries are also coming up. I would expect in the coming years, 4 to 5 years, there will be a lot more regulations covering that. So thank you very much. And I'll stop my slide. I'm more than happy if anyone has a question.
Thank you very much, sir. There are so many questions. So if you allow me, then we will take the questions at the end of the session itself.
Yes.
Right now, if you allow me, then we can have another session from CA Riddhi, especially on Web3 and metaverse of crypto. And after that, we will start. We will take up that question, or otherwise, we can take up the question now, and then after that, we may have a session. So, as you say, we don't have any problem at all.
Yes, I would, because I've been through with the question and answer. There are a lot more. On, I suppose, the modus operandi of the cryptocurrency. This is where we are. And let's see, which questions in particular, Atul Bhai, you like to ask?
First question, as CA Pushpender Gupta ji has asked for how we can ensure the data migration accuracy, especially in case of Indian framework. This is the first question which we have received from CA Pushpender Gupta.
Okay, I guess this question should more be addressed by Riddhi. Yes, he is the one actually who has hands-on experience.
Let us take the questions of CA Kuldeep Gupta. First is, what are they selling, currency or dream or future asset? So Kuldeep ji must have got the answer. It's a currency, virtual currency, which we are selling. It is neither a dream nor a future asset. It's a currency, but it's a virtual currency. Am I correct, Shanawaz bhai?
Yes, this is a virtual currency, and because there's no physical form, and not been backed up by a centralized system or a government, so virtual currency.
One important question is there, whether sale of crypto attracts GST. Now here I am talking from the perspective, like if I am having my own company and I would like to come up with my cryptocurrency and I am selling it in the market, then what all applicability is there for GST?
Well, I'm not GST expert, but as GST would apply to anybody, GST would apply in this case as well. But if I understand right, there's no absolutely clarity. We would expect a clarity by the government. So GST would apply. Mostly the answer is yes.
Okay. And whether crypto can be given to any promoter against his investment in the company as share capital?
Well, this is something, again, a subjective. The answer would be no. But just imagine if somebody is giving you, a promoter is giving you, what you are going to get it as, like, I am buying a stake, but there is no stake. As I mentioned, earlier in my chat, equity interest, equity, the end meaning of equity is the residual interest. When the company goes into liquidation, there will be something you will be getting as a stakeholder. But unfortunately, in case of cryptocurrency, you will not be getting anything. There might be an underlying asset attached to it, but that's not, fall within the definition of IS 32 equity instruments. So unfortunately, the answer is no.
But the company can show crypto as assets in their balance sheet.
Yes.
The company can show the holding, the amount of Bitcoin they hold, the amount of cryptos they hold in the balance sheet, but not as promoters. If they hold something like an asset, if they hold something related to cryptos, so it's a responsibility that they have to show it in their balance sheet.
Yes. And as I mentioned, in my chat as well, that the possible way of combination is the IS30D seems to be the winner, but there is no, hard and fast feeling. For example, you may classify them as financial instrument, for example, as a financial asset or other asset. But in that case, then you have to come up, with the accounting policy, and then you have to have a conceptual framework clarity, whether it's an asset, liability. You need to lay down a number of, procedures as well. Perhaps IS38 is being a soft ground, where unfortunately nothing is there. Then I guess, consider them as the intangibles. So that seems to be the winner, in the rest of the world.
So I believe, while it is not an equity, or it cannot be a part of equity. So in that case, the question related to attraction of Section 56 of the Income Tax Act 1961 shall also not arise. Now, whether crypto can be given to any person for promotion, as we know, this is not a legal tender.
Yes.
It can be gifted. Yes, it can be gifted.
It can be gifted. It cannot be paid in lieu of the professional fee payable to him.
It cannot be paid as remuneration fee, though in the current scenario, when you work in the crypto market, there are chances that people pay you in crypto. So you have to convert it in first hand. Like today, whatever is the rate of Ethereum, whatever is the rate of ADA, Bitcoin. So you'll have to convert that remuneration into INR and then go for the taxation part. So there are a number of queries. People who work in this particular industry, they get remunerated in a particular currency. So what if they don't cash off is the most common question. So even if they don't cash off, but you have to show it in the part of your remuneration that you're earning something. And for that case, you have to convert it into INR.
So in that case, if we wanted to pay something for to a person for a promotion as well, we can pay. But in any case, they need to get it converted into the legal tender.
And yes, this is something even I touched base as well. There are, market, like not known market, let's suppose Bitcoin may have a market, but the others are not freely tradable. So identification of the fair value at the time of remuneration. So if I were to pay you $10,000, and there has to be a proper mechanism, these Bitcoins, 5 Bitcoins, denotes $10,000. So that's also going to be a challenge. And in case, I suppose people have missed it about it, the biggest challenge is coming, when organization is offering the remuneration, or suppose as a gift to their employees, how to account them. That's also been one of the fundamental challenges as well. So as the time, progress, we will come to know the more clarity on that.
And as far as the complications in accounting are concerned, you have already explained all the complications in accounting. Another question is again from CA Kuldeep Arora ji from Vrindavan. what is the concept of burning in crypto and how it will be accounted for?
So,
Burning.
burning happens in crypto like in a similar fashion. You say buyback. Suppose I have a crypto and there are 10 lakh tokens. Every month I plan to burn 1 lakh tokens. So it will be 9, 8, 7, 6. Within a year, it will come down, and they'll come down to in proportion. So in that particular case, you will have to again account for the new value of asset in that case. So here in crypto, we don't have buyback. Rather, we have the burning concept, and different currencies have different buyback rates, different burning rates. So they burn currencies in a different frequency. Some burn monthly, some even yearly. So there will be a concept. So since there is no accounting standards for the same, eventually you can just reclassify the value of whole asset whole and solely. You will have to just come up with the new mechanism of bringing the asset to the new value, because whatever is extinguished will become zero. And again, you'll have to recalculate the value of asset. Is my the call from my side is this.
So we can say, like, if there is any burning of currency or coin, then we need to devalue the entire currency or a particular coin issued by a company, right?
Right.
And the other thing is, for the burning is there. Burning also applies when the private key, something which you need to authenticate your ownership of a Bitcoin lost as well. That's also been, used by the miners as well. So yes, there are, complications, and yes, Riddhi has said something. I would expect, again, the accounting policy would help you, because the number of your units keep on depleting as well. So it's subjective.
We have with us our Chairman C. Nilesh Gupta ji as well. Chairman sir permits me, then let's start the session of Riddhi, and then after that.
No, I'm here. I'm not here as a panelist, sir. मैं आज एक viewer के रूप में हूँ यहाँ पे. So don't go for any formalities. And really, it is a very nice and knowledgeable session. Even I missed. मैं अपने YouTube channel पे जरूर देखूँगा इसको.
Thank you very much.
Please go ahead. And thank you, Shrivas bhai, for coming for the CIRC, and Riddhi Jain madam, and Mr. Satya, I think, from Chennai.
Yeah. So now I request here Riddhi Jain to start her deliberation on Web3 and metaverse of crypto. Over to Riddhi.
Yes, sir. So I actually was looking at few of the questions before my deliberation. We'll be answering all your questions shortly after I complete this Web3 and metaverse. So here you go. So I've been in this industry since 2017 as a trader, and as somebody in 2017, I cleared my CA. So since then, I am here in this industry. So, okay, the current Bitcoin rate is $37,000 something, and somewhere it landed to $69,000. So my presentation is totally going to be about Web3 and metaverse. What is Web3 and what is metaverse? And to be honest, everybody as a chartered accountant, 198 people watching will be like, why is somebody dealing with Web3 and metaverse? Why are we going so technical? What is the need of this particular topic in our industry? So Web3, I think you are aware of, there was something called Web 1.0, 2.0, there came 3.0, and here we are in the generation of Web 3.0. And this is what is metaverse. This might be looking like a movie of Hrithik Roshan, where he wears some glasses, or some of your kids playing in the mall wearing those glasses and visualizing something that is called 7D, 3D. But it's all about you. Metaverse and Web3, it's all about us. It's all about you and me. And how do we actually relate it? That it's all about us. It's all about you and me, because it's the future. It's something that we are going to deal in. It's something that is going to bring us new amount of bread and butter to our profession. When I say this, I say this with a conviction that yes, this is coming. And I see it coming because there's something that I can show you in this particular video. My screen might, is my screen visible, Atul sir?
Yes. It is.
Okay, if you actually go around and across in this video, let this video play.
This on a place, feeling good, a little bird on my wing. No raining people all around me. That's the bottom when I'm all around the world.
So this was all called Quest 3 from Facebook. And what happened there specifically was everybody went to a different universe and they were partying out there in a particular universe. For a time being, they shifted to a different universe. And how does that matter to us? How will it matter to us today if all of us want that this particular seminar to happen in a different way or a different manner? Can it happen? The answer is yes. The answer is yes, it can happen in a different manner. Tomorrow I expect that all those meetings, the virtual meetings that are happening, that is currently happening on Zoom, might shift to metaverse. Everybody of us wearing an augmented suit, getting decked up like really professionals. And augmentation is something, wearing your glasses, wearing a screen of glasses, getting into an augmented reality and attending a conference, me sitting next to Atul sir sitting next to Shanavas sir, Nilesh Gupta sir sitting next to me, and we guys talking. But when I am in my own space, while I am in my own home and own office, I see you guys sitting next to me and I can talk to you as good as it's happening now. Everything will be in the augmented reality where you can sense out the things. The only thing is we'll have different avatars. So in 1970s, when we talked of internet, it was like, oh man, will it really come? Kya aisa kabhi ho sakta hai? Then we had web. Then we had web 1.0. Then what is web 1.0? Web 1.0, when it came like internet, there is a client, there is a server, and everything is being fetched from a server and it's shown to a client. www wale browsers, where Wikipedia and different things showed you everything, where you could only read the things. Then came the second version of the internet. And what was that second version of internet? This is World Wide Web, where you could only read. I think back in times when there was Orkut and much before that, we only had www kind of connections. You could only read from there. Then came the second version, that was Web 2.0, that we're using currently. You know, everything that we use, Instagram, Facebook, everything is now Web 2.0, wherein you don't have the ownership of anything that you're using, but the future is here. Web 1.0, you consume only. Whatever you're given, you can read. Web 2.0, you can interact, you can share. Today on Instagram, you share pictures. On Facebook, you share pictures. Atul Sara has his associates. He has his website. You guys might be having your own websites where people come, they collaborate with you, they interact with you. Then what is Web3 bringing something new? What is this? Me telling you that this is the future and you're going to be here. You'll be like, lady, talking from past 15 minutes. How can she say that we are going to use it? The way we've used Zoom today is in the similar fashion and manner. We are going to go to the next world of reality, and that is Web3. So in Web3, it will be fully AI based. AI is artificial intelligence, then it's semantic based, and it is mobility based. Today, whatever documents you upload, everything is uploaded in a server, and that particular server is a central server. It is called as a centralized way of working. In centralized way of working, when something goes to HO, everything is saved there. You might have heard Google, Facebook, it has downtimes. Twitter band ho gaya, ek din ke liye band ho gaya, 2 din ke liye band ho gaya, the site is hanging. We working in IT departments, income tax ki site ka band hona is so common for us. But then in Web3, things will not shut down. They will not at all shut down. The reason is it will be a shared network. It will be a network where everything is shared with multiple people. And when it is shared with multiple people, it cannot have downtime. So we started with Yahoo, Google, MSN. Then we had participatory centralized system of working, the way we are in. And then came the next version. If you see here, there's a Brave browser. I don't know how many of you use Brave browser. If I shut down my screen, if I'll show you, I use Brave browser. And why do I use Brave browser? One of the reason is when I use Brave browser, I don't use Chrome. They pay me in BAT tokens. BAT tokens are tokens. When I use Brave browser for longer hours, it's fetching me something. It's giving me money. You using something, giving you money. You using, you posting your pictures on Instagram. Go ahead to a different version of cryptos, to the different version of blockchains. Read.io, Write.io are two particular sites that I currently use where I publish my articles. And why do I use that particular site? The reason is when somebody reads my articles, and people here just for hearts, they share pictures or in Instagram. Tomorrow, if you share something on web and somebody starts paying you for the same, imagine somebody paying you for your pictures, somebody paying you for songs, somebody paying for you for your work. Is the generation next where nothing is centralized, everything is decentralized. Not the Facebook, not the Instagram, not their central servers are going to store everything. It's going to be decentralized. It's going to be in multiple hands. If I give you a simple example, हमारी जो आंसर शीट्स है वो ICI के पास सिंगल हैंडेडली जाती है. इन decentralized network it will be going to say 10 people, और in a decentralized network अगर वो 10 लोगों के पास जाती है, in that case उसमें कोई अलग टाइप की overwriting, or there can be nothing, like they cannot cut marks from one place and they cannot overwrite in a place. So that is something, tampering usme nahi ho payegi. When we work in a decentralized network, similar copy of a thing goes to multiple people for checking. In that particular case, nothing can be tampered. And here is a coin called Bitcoin, Ethereum, Filecoin, wherein you can share your files, Brave browser that people can use. There are multiple things which are in a similar fashion. YouTube, when you upload videos, all the authorities go to the YouTube network. Today, if you use the COS network, there's a COS currency. If you use that particular network, Cosmos, in that case, you are going to get paid if you upload a video there. So this is what happens in Web3 and Metaverse. So social media, content creation, sharing platforms, trading platforms, this was nowhere. In downtimes, there was nothing called this somewhere earlier. But then what happened? There came a particular day wherein we can share things on the social media. We have a content creation. But why am I showing you this? What is the reason behind me showing you this? The answer is because we have evolved over a period, and this evolution is something that has brought you closer to the internet. There's only one thing that you can buy on internet. If you can write, what is the one thing that you can buy over internet? Do you know something that you can buy over internet? There's only one thing. You will say, ma'am, we can buy shoes, we can buy anything. But the answer is one single thing that you can buy over internet is your address. If is your particular domain name that you can buy over internet. Rest is bought over your domain name. So in Web3 and Metaverse, everybody can have their own domain name, and that domain name is not anymore going to be like .com. It's all going to be with .eth or a .matic network. So it's going to be different. So everybody has shifted here. Be it Jack Dorsey, who is the owner of Twitter, now he stepped down to a different, he's replaced by a different Indian person, to the Metaverse. Facebook recently named itself as Metaverse, and the reason that it is named as Meta is going to a different world beyond. Meta means beyond, and verse is the universe. So we are going beyond the universe. If you remember, we saw a video where we went to the augmented reality of the facts that everybody partied in a different place, then they moved to a hill. So Metaverse is the next evolution of social connection. Our company's vision is to help bringing the metaverse to life. So we are changing our name to reflect our commitment this future. This means what? Tomorrow on Facebook, there is going to be a party. Everybody is going to have their own glasses. They're going to wear it and they're going to feel the augmented reality. And he is Mark Zuckerberg. So this is the near future. Today, when I say this, you might be like, no, lady, damn it, this cannot be possible. The way we are talking in Zoom today, some days later, some years down the line, yes, we are going to be there. And why we as CAs do we need it? I'll come to it next. So Web3 is three three are the components of Web3. First is metaverse, then it's blockchain, and then it's virtual reality and augmented reality. Are we living in the world of virtual reality? The answer is yes, where the internet is owned by individuals. No more your data is going to be in the central servers. Everything is going to be decentralized. Somebody was asking, is mining and burning a similar concept? My answer is no. When you burn tokens, it's a different concept. You're burning, you're bringing down your tokens. When you mine, every time that your currency is mined, it is brought more by mining. Mining is a concept where a similar multiple networks, they try to mine the blocks, and when the blocks are mined, the currency comes into existence. One is relinquishing, एक में आपका खत्म हो रहा है, दूसरे में आपका बन रहा है. So mining and this is a very different concept. So now internet will be owned by individuals. Imagine this particular slide is here because this I got on internet. Metaverse will be social. It is, you'll have welcome parties, you'll have social connections, you'll have entertainment, gaming, exercise, and then I can show you there will be accounting also here. But how will accounting be there? This is a lady called Arcana, and she had her whole soul concert. Iska pura concert ho chuka hai on Metaverse. She was there. The tickets got booked over blockchain. And the tickets that we have today are basically over blockchain that are sold. Now the tickets are being sold over the blockchain. So tickets being sold over the blockchain is going to be the real reality of the near future. Then comes this particular slide, Warner Music Group to launch musical virtual concert in Sandbox Metaverse. Is this really happening? The answer is yes. If you see the names, it's Ed Sheeran, Bruno Mars, Dua Lipa. These are the industrial names that we have, Shah Rukh Khan, Amitabh Bachchan. These guys are the real musical people of the Hollywood industry. And if you see the date, it's 28th of January 2022. And what is the day today? It's 29th of January. So now all the musical concerts that we see are going to be here, are going to be held here. So imagine the reality if the concerts are going to be here, if everything is going to be here in Metaverse. So tomorrow, everything, when it goes decentralized, somebody coming to me with all his books, I'll be able to check if he has done any kind of corrections, if it is shared over multiple network, if it is really a decentralized kind of information that I'm getting. The next picture that I'm showing you here is about Exile Infinity. What is Exile Infinity? AXS is a token in Metaverse. AXS is a game and a token in a Metaverse wherein it started its rating from some $25. When I started trading in AXS, it traded in $25, and how madly it raised across $250. I've watched that particular coin going to $250, and currently it might be trading in under some $48. Is this only for the people who play games in the industry? The answer is no. Tomorrow, how will your accounting perceptions change? The answer is people will send you their database, their balance sheets, their PLs, all their accounting records to you over the Web3 network, wherein they'll say that we will have a metaverse meeting. You'll have to sit in an augmented reality. Your articles are going to tell you that, sir, tomorrow I'm going to come to the office from 11 to 5, my office timing. He'll come to the augmented reality. He'll not leave his place. Ghar se wo apna office attend kar paega. So that is a wonderful broader view of metaverse. These are the few tokens of metaverse. If I say metaverse is the reality, these are the few tokens wherein if you read ILV, AXS, ENJ, and Mana, Mana is called as decentral land, wherein you can buy land over a metaverse. Buying property in Delhi, South Delhi, Chennai, Raipur is so common. There has come, it has already evolved. People like me, we possess land in such kind of places in the blockchain world where we invest. Today, I bought a land in Mana World. Tomorrow, I'm going to shift my office to that place. Day after tomorrow, I'm going to plant at that particular place. Is this really going to happen? The answer is yes, it is happening. This is Jack Dorsey, who tweeted somewhere in December 2021. He tweeted, "You don't own Web3. The VCs and their LPs do. It will never escape their incentive. It's ultimately a centralized entity with a different label. knowing what you are getting into. So Web3 is a completely decentralized platform wherein you have right to every single thing. Tomorrow, when you enter the Web3 world, when you put something over web, if you even sing a song and you put over a web, it has your copyright that you sang it. It has your copyright. You day after tomorrow you can sell it, and once you start selling it, you are going to be paid for it. Earlier in this particular network, until we had web 2.0, you might have heard Facebook ka server down ho gaya. Facebook is earning money because it has your depository, it has a central database. Now on, it's going to happen that everything is decentralized. You are responsible for your articles, you are responsible for whatever you throw to the market. So you are going to get money, you are going to be paid in tokens for sharing your knowledge over here. So if you see all these newses that I've collected are dated 28th of January 2022, who have jumped in this metaverse bandwagon are Apple jumped into this particular industry. Sandbox is a token launched and come up with 150 million accelerator program. So metaverse is a place where all the companies are eventually going to jump in. Today, we don't see Reliance and other industries.
Could you try again?
Reliance and other industries coming here, but someday or the other, all the Indian industries are going to come and adapt these particular network and are going to tell you that, okay, you are the part of the virtual reality. And what is the virtual reality? Your offices going into metaverse. It's not anymore going to be that I practice from Raipur. Okay, I practice from Raipur, Saudi, America, US, Africa, and I am present everywhere. By being at my own base location, I can be at other 100 places. But then how is money earned in this particular network? Have you seen people coming with NFTs, and who buys this shit? If you see this shit, this was actually sold for like $1 million, but who took this avatar? The answer is no matter how you look, but if you have a good voice, you can take this avatar tomorrow in your metaverse and you can sing songs thinking that you are this particular avatar, and then you can sing songs, and whatever you get as a earning there is going to be your earning. And this is happening. If you see OpenSea, Rarible, you're going to find out that people mint NFTs. Minting is you have to place it into a particular website. People mint NFTs for few Ethereum and then they sell out such NFTs. Is this market very big in India? The answer is yes. I could hear somebody telling that NFTs are going to be banned. No, when you move to the world of metaverse, NFTs are the real reality. No more you see Riddhi Jain with this face. You are actually going to see my avatar, that this is my avatar, and next time I attend a meeting, I'll be in a different avatar with blazer. I go to party, I have a party dress. So people buy avatars. And if you see that I'm not serious, this particular cat was also sold in a NFT. But how are these going to affect us? The reality is tomorrow all your all your digital signatures are going to be part of NFTs. You're going to have a blockchain value of that particular signature. It's no more going to be your digital signature. It's going to be under the blockchain, and from the blockchain you are going to sign your documents, because that is the most transparent form of network. Are these NFTs a scam? Will India ban these NFTs? Time will tell. But the reality is, since we are moving ahead in a generation where these things are going to come, 91 mein nobody thought internet would be a boom and hum Zoom tak aa sakte hain. In a similar fashion, 2022, when I say you this, that it's a scam, you might feel ha ho sakta hai, but the reality is no, we are heading to a different world. Who brought this concept of metaverse? Kahan se aaya ye metaverse? So there's a particular novel that was written back in times by Neil Stephenson. His novel was known as Snow Crush, and he told that when the world is not livable, the way we are living in the COVID scenarios, ki bahar ki cheezein utni achhi nahi chal rahi hai jab, then there is something called metaverse that is going to come into being, and that is how it happened. Metaverse came into the real being. Back in times, it was thought कि ऐसा हो सकता है, and in reality it's happening. You know, Nike giving you an opportunity that, okay, go ahead, Adidas, Nike, they are telling you, okay, wear the shoes, see it in metaverse, see yourself wearing that particular shoes. It will give you a picture that how that shoes looks. You can take approval of your wife, friends and kids that, okay, is this shoes looking good to me or not? So that is how all the big people in industry are actually moving to this particular way of network. How is it going to affect us? So the point is, in the broader view, when your offices shift to metaverse, when your client gives you database in the blockchain network, when your article says that everything is in blockchain ledger, I'm going to come to the office at 11 and I'm going to check the blockchain ledger. Is that happening? The answer is yes. And how do you profit from it? So you profit very frequently from it because you are all part of blockchain. Whatever you use in blockchain is there in blockchain, and you are actually the owner of that particular concept. This news is from 15th of June 2021, which says that 15 of banks are going to adopt the blockchain. If you see RBL Bank, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, Kotak Mahindra, Axis, IndusInd Limited, South, and a few of you might be auditing and having the bank audits too. You know, technology has always given us a savior when we audit. Technology has always acted as a boon. So is this blockchain going to take away your bread and butter? The answer is no. It's going to make everything very, very transparent. So tomorrow or yesterday, suppose you had a particular song, you loaded it on your own name. I sang a song, I loaded, somebody took it from me. Atul sir said, oh Riddhi, you sung so good, I am going to take the ownership of this particular song. For $1 I sold him, and I told him, whenever you sell it to anybody, 80% is going to come to me. So he said, okay, 80% yours, 20% mine. Then again, he sells to the other party. So the ownership and everything, the transactions in blockchain are very transparent. You can see if I transfer a Bitcoin from my wallet to somebody else's wallet, it is actually visible. And was this a drawback in earlier system? The answer is yes. In the traditional system, when the paper currency changes hand, I give it to Shikha, Shikha gives it to Atul sir give it to Shah sir, can it be noticed? The answer is no, you cannot trace it out. So all the accounting trails, all the auditing trails are actually possible in this blockchain and metaverse network. Am I taking much more time of yours? The answer is no. I hold a place and I hold an office in this Vegas city, and maybe for the next time when we meet, I'm going to wear an augmented suit and I'm going to give you a meeting there. And are these things really sold there? So yeah, virtual land and a plot worth 4.3 million was sold on metaverse. When I say 4.3 million, see that there is a dollar ahead. So is the world rapidly growing? The answer is yes. And when was this news happening? The answer is on 11 December 2021. This has already happened. We have stepped ahead in 2022. So you can have your domain names no more in .com. Rather, you can see the Twitter IDs of people having riddhi.eth, which says that I have an Ethereum address by now, and that is unique to me. So what are non-fungible tokens? This is my last thing that I'm going to share it with you. That what are non-fungible tokens? Non-fungible tokens are tokens which are sold in a marketplace that you have their title and ownership. OpenSea, Rarible, Nifty Gateway. Immediately after I finish this session, you can check these places in OpenSea. There are a lot of people who are minting NFTs. There are a lot of avatars that are going to be sold. You can connect your wallet. You can place your Ethereum, Solana over a network, and then you can buy these NFTs. When you mint an NFT, minting an NFT is bringing it to your name. When you bring it to your name, you're required to pay some gas fees. That gas fees is paid to the network, and tomorrow somebody else liking, say Nikhil liking my particular NFT is like, okay, I want to buy your NFT. I'll be like, okay, buy. So me minting it for 0.1 ETH, I can sell it for 19 ETH. And if I tell you price of one Ethereum, it might be $2,800 today. So there is a crazy market of youngsters who are purchasing and buying these NFTs. You might be having clients who are buying and selling such NFTs, wherein the transaction value from 0.1 ETH to 19 ETH has to be calculated by you. Somebody asked that what will be the value, in what value USD will be taken. So there's a USDT value that comes up in the blockchain network. It is not the USD value. USD value in Google might differ from the USDT value. So that is going to be the value that you are going to take. This is all from my side. From the next time onwards, when the augmented reality comes into being, I would be sharing myself as a person, as CA Riddhij and your speaker host from a different world of metaverse is for sure. And this is all from my side. And if you want to contact me, definitely this is my email address, this is my mobile number. I do write white papers when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Earlier, there used to be IPOs. It's no more the IPOs and other things. Rather, now on, when some cryptos are launched, white papers are released. So the way people want to invest in crypto, do read the white papers. White paper of Bitcoin is also available over the network. This is all presentation from my side, and I'll be happy to have all the kind of queries. And thank you so much.
The first query is there from CA Gaurav Bansal. Can a practicing chartered accountant create a NFT and sell it further? Will it be general permission? Will it be in general permission?
Yeah, he can mint an NFT and he can sell an NFT. This is already happening in market. A few months earlier, I also minted some NFTs to just learn how this selling works in a particular network. So it's like a genuine thing in the market today.
Another question, it is from CH Haya Maheshwi. How can we work on this technology in a medium and small CA firms in B class cities?
So I belong to a B class city, ma'am. I belong to Raipur. Sir is in Delhi. Shahnawaz sir is in Oman. So I belong to a B class city, and people like me are also using cryptos. I'm helping the developers in developing the currency. You might get clients once you are up in the industry and learning the industry. So everybody will be able to use blockchain once you have to come up with the idea how the blockchain actually works and how is the decentralized network working. So yes, every CA will be able to work in the blockchain network for sure. The only thing is you should have a prima facie knowledge of how things work at the back end.
Another question from CA Pushpendra Gupta, as I raised this question earlier also. How can we ensure the data migration accuracy, especially in case of Indian framework?
So data mining, if I'm not wrong.
Data migration.
Data migration. So in a normal concept, migration of data might be tampered. When you shift something from a blockchain to a blockchain, it is never going to be tampered and hampered. It's as good as a kid writing to Santa that I want an iPhone, and his father changes in between कि ये नहीं मिलने वाला है, इसे dairy milk मिलने वाली है. In a similar fashion, everything going to 10 computers that this guy needs an iPhone. So 10 computers cannot be tampered. In a very simple language, this is how the blockchain works. 10 different computers cannot be tampered. And when 10 different computers cannot be tampered, imagine none of your informations are going to be tampered. If it is coming from my blockchain to yours, it cannot be tampered. It's the most transparent way of living that we are going to have.
Pushpender ji is asking for, like, at the initial stage, if we'd like to transform or migrate our data from the normal working to the blockchain, then how it can be transferred, and if it will be transferred, then what will be the accuracy?
So the accuracy is going to be 110%, and definitely go and read about the Filecoin. It will have technical nitty-gritties. Definitely it's going to have, but there are different networks wherein you can put all your files there, and you can all place your digital signatures, your avatars, everything there, and you can start working from that particular place. It's too early in India to say about this, definitely, but yes, it's happening.
Another question from CA Ramkumar Saraswat. Is there any possibility of hacking of a blockchain?
Definitely. Definitely. I think I missed on some news where people are asking for Bitcoin. Your network is hacked. So the major drawback of this particular network is it can be hacked. I have a friend in Delhi who's a ethical hacker, Hall of Fame in Apple, Google, and whatnot. So the favorite thing a hacker does is, if they find there is some loophole in your particular network and way of working, they hack your things. and they ask you for money because you get it corrected sometimes and sometimes for the bad reason also. So blockchain is
So
something that can
now if there is a possibility of hacking, then if all the data center are destroyed in a catastrophic event, then what will happen to the record of account holders?
So the particular hacker is going to tell you for a ransom amount of money that he needs to give you back everything because he has no use of that particular data. So this is the most worrisome thing of the blockchain network that can happen tomorrow. Like anything from your Binance wallet, from your own wallets can be stolen. So this is possible. Your documents and data can be stolen.
Last question from CA Nipun Patil. It may be on a lighter side also. He's saying that if the meetings in future will happen in the metaverse, should I invest in office place in real world or should I invest in metaverse?
I would say wait a while, hold your stable coins. Stable coins are rupees. INR we call stable coins in this particular language of cryptos. Hold your stable tight. When you find the right investment in metaverse, then plunge in there rather than plunging in the real environmental offices that we have now. Because the time is going to tell you that it is a rapidly evolving thing. And adaptation in India has always happened a bit late than times. The way it's happening now, every now and then the government says we are going to pull back the cryptos, and it's not happening. It's not happening. It's always a FUD. FUD is something unusual happening in crypto market is called as a FUD. So wait, hold your stable tight, and then on a lighter note, think of what is better for you because that is not a financial advice from my side.
One question, very relevant question again from C. Ramkumar Saraswat sir. Value of currencies tend for its purchase power. How the value of cryptocurrencies are determined?
So value of cryptocurrencies are determined by what is being brought on their smart contracts. Cryptos are not bluff. There is something on the back end that development is happening. I work with the developers. So there are developers who are working on smart contracts. So those smart contracts are making things easier. The way YouTube is not paying you any money for your content. If we upload this on YouTube, we are not going to get any money. However, if we place it in the cost network, eventually we'll start earning money there. So yes, these things actually determine their value with the backup of smart contract, that how well a particular smart contract is working. If you go with ADA is a coin that works in the crypto network. So that particular coin has a lot of smart contracts coming. They update their versions, they verify their versions, and that is how the value is determined. So that is beyond scope of we as CAs, because we have to read the financial analysis, we have to see the technical analysis, and we have to read the white papers. At the same time, we have to be at par with those engineers that how those smart contracts are being brought on a particular currency. So that is how they derive their net worth or value from, on what the updations are going on.
One question from CA Gaurav Bansalji. He is asking for, have you ever heard about Lakshmi coin? If I talk about, I heard about Lakshmi coin on a Deepavali only. So in crypto terms, have you heard about Lakshmi coin?
So I haven't heard about any Lakshmi coin. There is a lot of shit coins in market, to be honest. And if so ever you invest in the crypto industry, make sure that you don't invest beyond the coins that are top 10. You're definitely going to lose your money. There was a Lucky coin. My pet name is Lucky. I remember in 2017 there was a Lucky coin and it went off suddenly. So everything went to zero. So the point is, all the new coins coming in, be very vigilant. Do read some kind of white papers before you invest. So nothing is a financial advice here, but definitely read things and then invest. And for me as a chartered accountant and all my fellow mates, hold your stables tight. Only after you read something about a particular cryptocurrency, then invest. I might say, okay, buy Solana, buy Matic, buy Aave, buy Avax. Today, I might say this to you. Tomorrow, what if that currency goes to zero? The person, the owner dies. You will come after me that ma'am gave us a financial advice. So nothing will come as a financial advice from this particular place. Yes, sir.
So thank you very much, Riddhi. I believe we got the answer of all the questions raised by the members here, and was really a very wonderful deliberation. For me, it was definitely a very new topic, especially about Web 3.0 and Metaverse. Both the terminologies were new for me. And you can say I'm a very traditional kind of chartered accountant who is not very much in touch with the technology and all. So we're trying to learn more and more about, even we learn more about cryptocurrency. And the knowledge which has been shared by Advocate M. Satya Kumar from Chennai, it was really wonderful. The knowledge shared by C.A. Shahnawaz Khanji from Oman, again, it was really wonderful. And I met with C.A. Shahnawaz Khanji in person also while he was in India about a week's back. And it was really very wonderful meeting with C.A. Shahnawaz Khanji. We exchanged so many views also. And the deliberation which you have given, that has also opened our eyes. And I'm sure the members who are present here in the present deliberation, they must have enjoyed and they must have got their queries resolved. For getting resolution of your queries, again, Advocate M. Satya Kumar has given you a WhatsApp number. C.A. Riddhi has also given you her email ID and number, and C.A. Shahnawaz Khan has also given you the email ID and his number. So whatever your queries are there related to crypto, I'm sure you all are going to get the answers. Definitely, we have to wait for the announcement from Government of India side. We are expecting few announcements maybe in this budget, which is going to be presented on 1st of February from 11 a.m. onwards. So we as a chartered accountant are expecting some news. Even in a discussion we had with the president in the past, president also gave some hopes that in this budget we would be having some proposals related to crypto. With these words, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to all the speakers who are present here in the today's presentation, today's virtual CP meeting, and I'm really thankful to the attendees who are present here. Definitely, with the name of crypto, the number of attendees have gone up beyond 200. So this is really very amazing, and that gives an idea that the members from our profession are really interested to learn more and more about the new currency, and they are willing to invest into that particular currency. I believe our chairman is not there now. So on behalf of the chairman CIRC, hands up, chairman sir, hai?
No, sir.
No. So on behalf of Chairman CIRC, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to all the attendees and the speakers of the today's session. And I hope in the time to come, as C.A. Satya Kumarji was suggesting, that we may be having one session on NFT. So we'll try to have one session on NFT very soon, where we are going to understand all the intricacies and other relevant issues related to NFT. With these words, once again, thank you very much. Stay safe, stay healthy. Kindly follow the protocol of COVID, and I'm sure in the time to come, we will again meet in person rather than meeting in virtual. I'm afraid, like, if everything is going on metaverse, then what shall be there of the property which is there available in physical mode. But in any case, thank you very much. Stay safe, stay healthy. Once again, thank you very much.
Should I end?
Yeah, please.